For more anatomy-related videos, please subscribe to my channel, Learn with Dr. Tanya Hashik.
Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about mediastinum. So what is mediastinum? It is the space between the two lungs. So this is one lung, this is the another, and the space between these two lungs is called as the mediastinal space. So this mediastinal space, it is again divided into superior mediastinum and also inferior mediastinum. So today we will go in detail about this. So first we will discuss about the boundaries of the mediastinal space. So this is the sagittal view, that is the side view of the thoracic cavity. So you can understand the boundaries from this picture. So anteriorly you can see the sternum, and posteriorly you can see the vertebral column, and superiorly there is the thoracic inlet, and inferiorly there is diaphragm. So these are the boundaries, and on each side there is the mediastinal pleura of the lungs. So on each side there is the mediastinal pleura. So these are the boundaries of the mediastinum. And again this mediastinal space is again divided into a superior mediastinum and also inferior mediastinum. So this is not actually divided into separate spaces, but for descriptive purpose we are dividing this into separate spaces so that it will be easier to explain. The space above the heart is the superior mediastinum. The space between the two lungs above the heart is the superior mediastinum. So when you say the separation, it is the imaginary line passing anteriorly through the sternal angle and posteriorly through the lower border of the fourth thoracic vertebra. So this space above is the superior mediastinum. So now we will discuss about the boundaries of the superior mediastinum. So anteriorly there is the manubrium sternum, and the posteriorly you can see the upper four thoracic vertebra, and superiorly there is the thoracic inlet, and inferiorly that is the imaginary line that passes through the sternal angle and also the lower border of the fourth thoracic vertebra, and on each side there is the mediastinal pleura. So these are the separation or the boundaries of the superior mediastinum. So now we will discuss about the contents of the superior mediastinum. In this figure you cannot see all the contents, but most of them are present in this figure. So one of the important content, it is the trachea and also esophagus, and the muscles are the sternohyoid and also sternothyroid, and also lower end of the longus colli. Next is the arteries. So you can see the arch of aorta, brachiocephalic artery, left common carotid and also left subclavian artery. Next is the veins. You can see the upper part of the superior vena cava, right and left brachiocephalic vein, and also left superior intercostal vein. So these are the veins. And nerves, you can see the vagus nerve, phrenic nerve and also cardiac nerves on both sides, and also left recurrent laryngeal nerve. So these are the nerves. And you can see thymus, thoracic duct and also lymph nodes. They are the paratracheal, brachiocephalic and also tracheobrachial lymph nodes. So these are the contents of the superior mediastinum. So next is the inferior mediastinum. So inferior mediastinum, it is the space where heart is located. That is the inferior mediastinum. It is again divided into three. That is the space in front of the pericardium, and the space where heart is located is the middle mediastinum, and the space behind it, it is the posterior mediastinum. So the inferior mediastinum, it is again divided into anterior mediastinum, middle mediastinum and also posterior mediastinum. So anterior mediastinum, it is the space in front of the pericardium. Middle mediastinum, it is the space where heart is located, and the posterior mediastinum, it is the space behind the pericardium. So the anterior mediastinum, it is a very narrow space in front of the pericardium. So this is the space of the anterior mediastinum, and it is a very narrow space, and It is continuous through the superior mediastinum with the paratracheal space of the neck. So it is continuous with the superior mediastinum. So this is the anterior mediastinal space. So now we will discuss about the boundaries of the anterior mediastinum. So anteriorly there is the body of sternum. Posteriorly that is pericardium. That is the covering of the heart. And superiorly that is the imaginary plane separating the superior mediastinum from the inferior mediastinum. That is the superior border. And also inferiorly there is the superior surface of the diaphragm. And on each side there is mediastinal pleura. Now we will go through the contents. So the contents are the sternopericardial ligaments, lymph nodes with the lymphatics, and also small mediastinal branches of the internal thoracic artery, and also lower part of the thymus and also areolar tissue. So these are the content of the anterior mediastinum. They are the sternopericardial ligament, lymph nodes with the lymphatics, small mediastinal branches of the internal thoracic artery, the lower part of the thymus and also areolar tissue. These are the content of the anterior mediastinum. Next is the middle mediastinum. So middle mediastinum, it is occupied by the pericardium and also the contents along with the phrenic nerves. So the boundaries of the middle mediastinum, anteriorly there is the sternopericardial ligament. So the ligament that connects the sternum with the pericardium. So anteriorly there is sternopericardial ligament, and posteriorly there is esophagus, descending thoracic aorta and also azygous vein. So these are the posterior boundaries, and on each side there is the mediastinal pleura. So that is the boundaries of the middle mediastinum. And contents. Heart. Heart is the one of the most important content of the middle mediastinum. Heart, which is enclosed within the pericardium, and also ascending aorta, pulmonary trunk, and also two pulmonary arteries. So these are the contents of the middle mediastinum. And also the veins are the lower half of the superior vena cava and also terminal part of the azygos. In this figure you cannot see that. And also right and left pulmonary veins. And the nerves are the phrenic nerve, deep cardiac plexus, lymph nodes are tracheobrachial nodes, and the tubes. They are the bifurcation of trachea, the right and left principal bronchi. So these are the contents of the middle mediastinum. So next is the posterior mediastinum. So the boundaries of the posterior mediastinum, anteriorly there is pericardium and also the bifurcation of trachea, pulmonary vessels and also posterior surface of the diaphragm. So these are the anterior boundaries. Next is the posterior boundaries. Posteriorly there is lower 8 thoracic vertebra. So posteriorly there is lower 8 thoracic vertebra, and on each side there is mediastinal pleura. And the contents of the posterior mediastinum, they are esophagus. Arteries, you can see the descending thoracic aorta and also its branches. So you can see the descending thoracic aorta and also its branches, and the veins are azygous vein, hemiazygous vein and also accessory hemiazygous veins. So these are the veins. And next is the nerves. You can see the splenic nerves, greater, lesser and also least, arising from the lower 8 thoracic ganglia of the sympathetic chain. So nerves, you can see the vagus nerve and also splenic nerves, that is greater, lesser and also the least splenic nerves. Next is the lymph nodes and also lymphatics, that is the posterior mediastinal lymph nodes, the thoracic duct. So you can see it in the posterior mediastinum. So these are the contents of the posterior mediastinum. So in this video we have discussed about the mediastinum and also its contents. So this is the end of today's video.
This is the end of today's video. For more videos, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.